today I'm going to do a book review video, and there's a theme to this book review video where they're all hardback books. And 3 of them are new, and 4 of them are ones that I've had forever on my bookshelf, so I just say, you know what, I'm going to make this a themed book review video, and it's going to be hardback edition. So this is the first one. It's Women of God by James Patterson and Maxine Pietro. I don't know how you say, if that's how you say her last name. But, yes, and sorry you guys, my skin is like really dry right now. So this is what it looks like. Now, I did one in my last book review video, and it was a Halloween edition. And this one, I bought it, and it was okay. Now, if you're really not like a religious person or something, you probably won't like this book. But if you love James Patterson, you might love this book. It's about this woman who she was a doctor in the South Sudan, and there was lots of bad things happening, and through all this other stuff, she becomes a woman priest. And then she gets elected, or however they nominate a pope for, or how they get a pope or something. She was nominated to be the first woman pope because the pope died, and they thought, well, maybe we should do a woman pope. So she was like in like the nomination or whatever you want to call it for it. And so yes, so that was it. And this book takes place, it doesn't really say if it's supposed to be from this year or not, but it was supposed to be like 20 or 25 years later after she was a doctor. So I really don't know if it was supposed to be 25 years after 2016 or not. Like, I don't know if this is going to happen in the future. I don't know, because I don't know how it goes with the popes and stuff or whatever. But it was an okay book. Like, the ending, I feel like, you know, when with some of his books that I've read before, it feels like you feel like, okay, you know what the ending is gonna be, and then he changes it completely. Like, I thought, oh, this was gonna happen to her and her family, and it really doesn't. It's sort of like, and this isn't like exactly how it is, so don't be like in comments like, oh, this isn't like what it was in the Bible, but it seems it's like sort of like the Bible story Job, kind of, except it's a woman, because she, well, if you know what happens to Job, you know what's going to happen to her, well, not exactly what happens to her in the book, but about how everything bad starts happening to her and stuff. So, yeah, so it's sort of like that. I mean, it was a really good book. Like, I really liked it. But I don't know if a lot of people would like it, because it is sort of like a religious type of book. And if you don't know that much about, like, the Christian religion, I don't know if you'll get it. I don't know. I mean, I got some of it, but not a lot of it. So this book I like. This is a new book, and it's The Magnus Chase, The Gods of Asgard, and this book is about Rick Riordan, or Riordan. He writes books about gods, and they're all different series. Like, there's an ancient Egyptian god and goddesses one, there's a Roman, Greek one, there's somewhere he puts like everything together. This one is the Norse god series, and the first book was called The Sword of Summer. It came out last summer. And this book came out, this is the second book in the series, and this is called The Hammer of Thor. And this is what it looks like. It does come with like a little bookmark, but I took it out. I am going to use it. A different book that I'm reading. So what happens in this book is Magnus Chase, he has the Sword of Summer, that's his sword. And he has to go on another quest, but this time it's to get Thor's hammer back. And let me tell you, okay, Thor in this book is not like the Liam or Chris Hemsworth Thor that you know. It's completely different. So if you if you've seen those movies, it's not like that at all. the book, but it is really good. It's about Thor and his evil brother Loki, Loki. I don't know if that's how you really say it, I don't know. And Loki is trying to find the hammers too, so he can destroy the world and stuff. And Magnus and his friends have to go on this like quest to find it and see if they can be successful or not. And the next book comes out, I think, next fall. And it's so bad because like his books always come out like a year later, and I always get kind of mad because I love Rick Riordan's books. Like no matter how old I get, I love them. And I just never liked how you have to wait another year, and then like you get so excited because like you want to know what happens, and you have to wait until next fall to read it. So this book, I don't really remember what happens in this book, to be honest, but this is what I remember. This book I didn't finish because I really didn't like it, but I had to put in a book review because I did read a lot of it. And this is The Sanctuary. It's by Raymond Khoury. I don't know if that's how you say his last name, but this is what it looks like. And it's basically, this is how I interpret it. It's basically this book about, it goes back and forth sometimes where it's like, it goes back to like the 14th or 13th century, 1500s, and then it goes to present day where this girl is trying to find her mom because her mom is the only one that can interpret. Her mom gets kidnapped and she has to find her mom because her mom's the only one that can read this coin or something about where the treasure is from the Templar Knights or whatever. And it really wasn't that good. Like, in my opinion, it wasn't. It was really, really bad. And I really didn't, like, understand the story at all because it didn't really, like, tell you how her mom could read it. Or, yeah, it's basically just, like, it went the whole, like, in the middle of the book, it went through, like, the whole thing of her telling this guy that she met she was trying to find her mom, but in the process she like forgot about her mom sometimes, and she started trying to figure out, well, why they want her mom, or why are these people trying to get this artifact or something. It really wasn't that good of a book. This book I liked, and I don't know how you say his last name, so I'm not even going to say his last name, I'm just going to show you. And this is called The Collectors, and this is what it looks like. It is a hardback book. It is going to be longer, like, a lot longer. This is what he looks like on the back. Sometimes, like, when I see author stuff in the back, like, to me, if it's, like, an author, like, I don't know who they are, and then I look at their name, like, oh, this person will look like this, but then you look at the back of the book, or the book jacket, and you're like, that's what he looks like, or that's what she looks like. I don't know. That's just my thing. That's what he looks like. But anyway, this book is about these people who are book collectors, and they found out that their one friend got murdered, and he had a copy of this rare book, and in it they have to figure out if he had a real genuine rare book, or if it was a fake version of it, and they had to figure out, you know, who killed him. It was a really good book. Like, I really liked it. I mean, if I had like $1 million in the world, I would want to buy like first edition books of Charles Dickens or Edgar Allan Poe or something like that. So I kind of related to this because I really like books, obviously, because I do these book review videos. But it was really good. Like, some of it wasn't that great, and there is like another group who was trying to find the book before the heroes did. This book, oh my gosh, this book almost made me cry. And you guys know that I usually never cry while reading books. That's just not my thing. And I'm not like, I don't know if that just makes me weird or what, but I usually don't cry during books. But this one almost made me, and it's the new Nicholas Sparks book. And it's supposed to celebrate his like 20 years in the romance writing genre. And this is called 2 by 2. Now, the title of the book, I really didn't understand why it was called 2x2, because it didn't really have, I don't know what, but, like, it's because, like, the 2x2, I feel like it really didn't, it wasn't a good, title for this book, to be honest with me. Like, that's the only thing that I didn't like about the book, because 2x2 was a book that the guy would read to his daughter. It was like the Noah's Ark story about him putting animals 2x2 on the ark. And that's why, I think that's why the book was called 2x2, but I really didn't like the title of the book, because I was like, well, what does that mean? Like, 2 people are going to die, and then 2 people new are going to come in or something? I don't know. This is what it looks like. Now, this book was really long, and I feel like it shouldn't have been that long, because that was the thing I hate about the book, was that it was really long, and it took so long to get to, like, what happened at the end of the book. So what happens is it starts out, shockingly, which is weird, because I don't think any of his books started with a married couple, I don't think, in the beginning. But it starts with this married couple, and in each chapter, there's, like, italicized words, italicized, like, paragraph or two about, like, a precious memory that the title guy has in the book. And then it goes into, like, the chapter. And the chapters are numbered, and they're named too. And in this book, Russell, him and his wife, they, like, everything's going great. They have a kid, and then he loses his job, and then his wife gets a job working for the same company that he got just fired from. And it, like, takes a downturn on a relationship, and then finally something happens in the book, and I'm not going to say what, or the turning point of it, and it changes everything. Now, the sad part is, and I'm not going, well, I don't know if I should say, but the sad part comes at the last, like, 10 chapters in the book, or maybe 5 chapters in the book. And let me tell you guys, it was sad. Like, it almost made me cry at the end. And if they made, because usually they make, like, usually, like, he writes a book, and then they make, like, a movie for Valentine's Day for it. And the last couple ones looked really corny, so I was like, well, maybe this one I might actually like. Because it almost made me cry at the end. Like, it really, really did. And it's, like, an unsuspecting thing. I will tell you that it's not one of the main characters in the book. It's not, like, one of the 2 main characters in the book. Like, there's a lot of main characters, but the big 2 are not the ones that die in the end, which is kind of a shock. So the last 2 books are about the royals, the English royals, and if you don't like the royalty books or whatever, then don't watch the rest of this video. But these are the last 2 books I have, and I like reading about the royals. I don't know why. I don't know why. They fascinate me. I don't know why. I don't know. But and plus I like history and stuff. Maybe that's why. But this is called Sovereign Elizabeth II and the Windsor Dynasty, and it's by Roland Flamini? I don't know how to say his last name. That's what he looks like on the back, though. And this is what it looks like. Now, this book obviously was about the Queen of England, Elizabeth II, and there's always, like, with, I don't know if it's about paperbacks too, but there's always pictures, like, somewhere in the book, like, little excerpts, and it's like, oh, like, here's the Queen on her wedding day, here's the Queen with her husband, the Duke of Edinburgh, or whatever. I never know how you say, some people say Edinburgh, and some people say Edinburgh. I don't know. But this one had, like, different clips. Like, here's some pictures. I don't know if I can see it yet. Like, that's her mom and that's her mom and herself. And it only had 1 set. Like, usually sometimes they have either 1 or 2 sets. But that's basically what it was about. It was basically just about her life, or, it went up to, I don't know when it went up to, but I think it went up to when Charles got married, I think, and I think when Prince Andrew got married too, I think. But it was basically just the same thing, you know, just like, it was like a biography about her life, but also about her kids and stuff as well. And the next book is, like, basically the same thing. It has 2 excerpts of pictures in it. But this one, it talks more about, her husband's in it and a couple other people. But this one, I feel like this book I liked more than the one that I showed you. This one is the last one I have. It's just called The Royals. It's by Kelley. And this is what it looks like. That's what she looks like on the back. But I really liked this one better. I feel like, because, I mean, it was a bigger book. But, I mean, most of it on the back was, like, bibliography and chapter notes and index and everything else like that. And the author's note or whatever. But this one, the Royals one, I feel like was the best one because it had lots of pictures. Like, there was 2 sets of pictures in it. And I really liked it. And I feel like this book had more, like, both of them had, like, similar things. Obviously, like, okay, like, her kids get married, she has her kids, blah, blah, blah. But there was stuff in the Royals book that I did not know about the Queen or about a lot of her relatives, which wasn't in the other book. Because I feel like the other book, sometimes it's like, with some books that you read about the Royals, it's like basically the same stuff over and over again. This one had like little clip-bits of things I didn't know about her or even about her family, like her mom and her sister and her husband and stuff like that, and I like that one better. So that was my book review video. Comment below and tell me some of your favorite books or some recommendations you want me to read for a book review video. Give this video a thumbs up. Please subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time with another video, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.